Time you switch pod. The boys are back. How are you, Chris?
Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Koda's but happy. How you doing? How you doing, bro?
I'm good myself. The Dan Carters of podcasting. We're back again.
Yeah,
You
we're
can catch us
back.
on
We're back.
Spotify. You can catch us on Apple
Mm.
Podcasts as well as watching us here. And it's back to winning ways for your boys.
Yeah, look, it's back to winning ways, right? But I think for me, still the bigger picture still remains, in terms of the next best, because that clearly shows that, the Boks are back, and there's a particular standard that they uphold, and you can see it filters through, but then now it's the thing is hopefully, that can start showing with the other guys as well.
Yeah. But I think it has. I think it has, because let's begin here, because obviously big wins for all the SA teams except for the Stormers.
Except for the Stormers, disappointingly.
Yeah, we'll get to that one because that one was an issue of its own. But statement game, and where I will partly disagree with you is that I feel like everyone that last week was subpar, all of a sudden they were looking world class this week, and it's having the Boks there. I know obviously you're gonna perform better when you have better players around you, but it was a complete transformation for some of the guys.
Look, definitely. And yes, Vele, we must disagree, because that's the thing. That's what it's about. But all I'm saying is that in those particular positions, because must remember the Boks came in and they filled in particular positions.
Yep.
I think it showed there at 9 that there's a standard that's missing when the Boks are not there.
Yeah, no, that was very, very evident, especially the gap between Cameron Wright and two Springboks was very, very evident. The gap between Fez and Mbata, someone that plays hooker, that he has been a hooker compared to Dylan Richardson as well. So I just throw that in there as well. But the gap was very, very apparent once the Boks stepped in those key positions.
Yeah, that's what I'm also getting at, in that sense, is that you got the Rock Nation money, you got all of that, and it's about now you want to win silverware, and are those guys going to get you to silverware? Maybe they may be good team men and all of that, but like I'm saying, when the Boks are not there, because injuries do happen, things do happen in sport, those guys, will they have been able to absorb enough? The young guys perhaps, but I mean, in certain areas,
well, they've showed they haven't. They showed they can't. They've just showed that they can't, but they've showed that when the Boks are there, they are at that level, and the team is starting to look like where they should be, or even past where we thought they would have been.
Yeah, much better. No, definitely much better. I'm just still saying that, I don't want to get carried away. That's all I'm saying, is I don't want to get carried away, because yes, it was a big win, but there's still those issues that remain, but what a way to bounce back. The physicality, ferociousness, the intensity, the tempo, you saw it there, and it's definitely a direct result of having your big hitters back, and like I say, there's that standard that they uphold. Now when you look at it, even for South African rugby, you've got 2 9s. Yes, they were part of the campaign, but there's that standard that's already ingrained in them. Future looks good. So that's why I'm saying the next one's coming through. But alas, a good win. Very
good win. Everyone lifted up their game. You could see, even that tap where Mapimpi gave it to Etzebeth, these guys, they were itching to play. Rowan Janssen van Rensburg came on that go forward for that try. Werner Kok was playing better. Fassi played way better. Fenta also, Pepsi, Buta, they all played well once these guys came back. And Similani, apparently he's been spotted in the region. Chituka as well, Chituka Jr. He's also wasn't part of the Lions that re-signed today, and looks like he's heading down to the Sharks. So maybe those guys will bolster that group of guys that aren't Boks.
Yeah, maybe, and maybe for Similano, you hope, okay, maybe this is finally a place where he can actually start playing rugby consistently and, showing more of what actually got him there.
I don't think it will, though. I don't think it will, because you've got already, you've got two other Springboks in the center pairing as well. But you've got Diego Paulus. I don't see. I'm just struggling to see right now. You've got Janchi, who also has played 13 before. I'm just struggling to see where he fits into the whole thing.
I never count him. Never. I don't count him out. I don't want to count him out. I think he still has a lot to offer. I think he hasn't really settled. You won't really know what it is. We'll see how it goes if it's true. And then
I know it's true. It's true. That one. That one is true. Yeah.
I think the Chituka one, a big loss for the Lions. Honestly, was at that game on the weekend. You could just see how, even watching Nohamba control the game, live, it's a different picture that you see. They at home, the Lions, they always going to want to showcase, the Lions brand and play, attack. Yeah. So, and Chituka, I think he did a lot of hard work, good ball carries as well there, and it's a loss for the Lions, honestly. For me. But from a Sharks point of view, you can see now, in terms of when I talk about, the next guys is, maybe they're looking there, to push and try and uphold that particular standard, But Lions, Lions are looking good as well.
I think let's actually go into the Lions game. We'll switch up the format a bit. Player renewals. They've signed some guys. They've got them down for until 2025. Looking at that picture, Hendrickse wasn't there. I think we all know there's been speculation, so he's on the way out. I mean, when he came on in this game, they even put him at center. They didn't even want to break up that 9-10 partnership of Light and Nohamba. So he's fallen he's fallen way out of favor. Van Wyk, he also was missing from that picture, but I think he had signed last year until 2025 anyway, when he was coming off of an injury. I think there was also some smart moves by the Lions to put forward a contract negotiation while someone is on the back of a serious injury. He's going to want to stay. But
of course,
in terms of the Lions, they're looking well coached again, and it's surprising because this is the man that we've said is a fraud multiple occasions.
But I still say, you also seeing it again there, it's the people that are around him, and of course, there's that, you can see that there's a real togetherness in that team. And in the way that they play, I didn't expect the Willem Albert's conversion there at the end, but I think you see that there, and also I think they've also spent a bit more time as well, and being able to just do their thing.
Exactly what you're saying, Marius Lowe, because this is what I had thought the previous week, is that the issue with the Lions is more a quality issue than a togetherness issue. They look like they have all bought in, and it's all a team. Whether they win or not is due to execution and quality. Marius Lowe was talking about the tour that they just came back from, and exactly what you described. He said it pulled us together as a team. It brought them closer, and they got more time to spend with each other. And now you're even talking about how Willem Albers took that kick. There's that camaraderie there. There's that vibe there. It's a good place to go to work, where it previously maybe wasn't a good place to go to work when they were eating hot dogs.
And that can be a recipe for a good campaign,
Yeah.
Especially for the Lions, and I think it would be good for the union, because yes, there are people there, but you could you'd have wanted to see more supporters, more bums on seats, you know, at Ellis Park. But I think they can, if on this trajectory, you know, and winning, I think especially winning your home games, and you can, they can push it, you know. I think they can push it, and especially the quality issues is things that they can fix or that are in their controllables, you know, in terms of execution. So yeah, you know, like I say, they are looking good, especially at home, and that's why I say, you know, for them, they just, I think if they look like they're getting into that zone, that sweet spot where they can just, no matter who comes on, plays, you know, your number 8, you know, he had a good game, you know, just even Van Veek, you know,
he had a
just
standout game,
like I wouldn't lie, like Download, I wasn't really like rating him, you know, because I was more of a Lashe. I still am, you know, a supporter, but yeah, look, you can see certain things there, you know, his ability in a tight situation to just beat a man like that, and you know, push him out the way and get in over, you know, because there was coverage there, you know, and yeah, just that says something, you know, and that's why I say I think they've got the guys, and if they keep it like this and get better from a quality perspective, like you say, yeah, who knows what can happen for the Lions, you know.
And that's the thing. On the weekend, they did get the quality down. The set piece went well in terms of scrums, in terms of lineouts. PJ Porter is a bit lightweight. You know, they talk about Hrobler needing to he's a bit small, put on weight. You know, that's why he's not in the box setup. PJ Porter, for me, does the basics well, but he's a little lightweight there. But anyway, Creel played well. Richard Creel, him and his brother seem to be the sourceless ballers. They're balling out in this campaign, and yeah, they disrupted Zebre where they could. And Nohamba, the most important thing was when they got that go forward, Nohamba was feeding the backs. His distribution, and hitting that 13 channel, fast as well. It's something that seemed to spark the team.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's why I say him there 10. He just, it's a different picture, you know, and that the tempo that they were able to generate, you know, the recycling, moving the ball around, and some parts they weren't really going anywhere or weren't in the right positions, but you know, his control at 10, I like that, you know, I really like that, you know, and it's, yeah, the thing is now is like for him, you know, in terms of future aspirations, what does that do for him? You know?
But that's the thing. This is why I talk about Simelane not, you know, going to the Sharks, and is it the best place he could go? You look at Nohamba, he came to the Lions where there was a clear opportunity for him. He's ended up in the 10 role, but there was a clear opportunity at 9. So sometimes, you know, you have to take that path that seems a bit easier to you know, where you can get that starting. You know, you can't be going to fight with Boks for places, guys. You can't. I know these guys, they all believe in themselves, but you can't be going to fight with Boks for places. But yeah, the guys that have arrived there, it seems like they've stepped up.
Yeah, no, for sure. And even who's your number 7? I think Fenta. Yeah, he had a good game as well.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, is that the loose forwards of the Lions, they really, you can almost see that loose trio of the Lions. The Whiteley,
the previous generation.
Horn
is the same as Whiteley. You've got Fenta there. He's also a lock flank. I mean, he is bigger than Mostert, but there's still some of that flavor there. Chituka's got that workhorse, but I think we lack a bit in terms of 6, and I think we're gonna see that a bit when Chituka leaves. Hopefully we can. But the Lions, we always, you know, even South African rugby, you can always find a flank.
There's always loose forwards.
Even in the stands, you can find someone that can fill in and get you 1 or 2 steals.
Yeah, you know, but you know, Lions, you just hope that they can just keep on. That's all that I'm saying right now, you know. Like I said last week, still a long season ahead.
Yeah, let's go to the Stormers now. Terrible, terrible tour they've been on. 80th minute winner, Tinus de Beer. He looks frantic in everything he does, but more often than not, it works. You know, he is effective. You know, coming into this game, it's been a terrible tour. I wasn't impressed by the team that they put out, the starting lineup that they put out. On the bench, they had some heavy hitters. I was actually surprised at how well it went in the beginning. But then the longer the game went on, Cardiff hung around, and their strike plays were what really caught the Stormers out.
Yeah. But they really did conspire against themselves to lose that game. The Stormers, you know, because you just can't. But I still think, I was thinking about it earlier, that I still think, yes, you know, it's fine that Blommetjies there 10, and sometimes it's the driver, you know, that the different driver, there's maybe different outcomes.
No, it was, what's his name? What's his name? Carl's son. It's Du Plessis there.
Yeah,
he was at 10. And the thing is, he's a different kind of 10 to Lubbock. And now your whole game plan is basically based around that kind of a player. I feel like Ngomezulu, yes, he's got the hype. The hype train is strong. You know, everyone believes in him. But I feel like he's misplaced at 12. I mean, it's not that he does a bad job. I just feel that if he was playing 10, he would be doing better. If Blommetjies was playing 10, maybe he'd be doing better. I just feel like the whole team needs a bit of a shuffle around. And at the same time, you can't, as much as he is good, as much as he is promising, he still makes those junior level errors. You know, he's still missing touch at vital times. I don't know who's I don't know. At 24-24, I don't know who was the captain that elected not to go for poles and go for line, and they missed line. That was effectively where the game was over.
Yeah. But also, I think that high of the Stormers that they had, you know, from the introduction, winning the URC.
Yeah.
And it's now they find themselves in a place that they've never been, you know.
Yeah.
And it's really now how they're going to get out of it, you know. And I think the selection, you know, it's just, it doesn't look like it's working. You can see, yes, the guys are good, you know, quality players, yes, you know, but
these guys are worse than the Sharks with no box. The Stormers with no box are worse than the Sharks with no box. There's guys here. You've got Brock Harris playing 400 games and Lee Marvin Mazibuko, guys.
Hey man, that's 300 games, Codus. That's 300 games, man.
That front row was very, very, very suspect. Games, man. I'm sorry, that front row was, you've got a guy that can't scrum and a guy that's been scrumming for too long. Something is missing there. They fixed the whole thing with the lineouts with Dweber gone, but then that took away from the scrums, you know. And Mazibuko, he's been substituted in the first half before because of not being able to scrum. He gave away a penalty and then he gave away a tight head immediately after that. And then he gave away a penalty for not retreating. That guy is on thin ice. That's all I'm saying. That guy is on thin ice.
Look, and that's what I'm saying. They find themselves in a place where they're in a precarious position because I don't think they've covered their bases properly.
They haven't, no.
And because isn't it Mazibuko was supposed to be one of those up and comers that's you know,
he's up and coming out the door. He's that guy, he's up and coming out the door.
So I'm saying like it was bad investment because right now he's there, right? Yeah. So which means that from recruitment at age group, that's where they
what recruitment at age group? You've got a man that's 40 years old scrumming there.
No, but I'm talking about Mazibuko, right? We're talking about Mazibuko right now, right? He is supposed to be the next guy. And that's why you've got the 40-year-old there, because that investment didn't work for the Stormers.
These guys, I'm sorry.
Right? Because he's come through the age groups. So you're telling me all along they didn't know.
They didn't know, and
Because,
then now the time has come, and they know they must. It's time to let go. It's time to let go.
no.
I will say, I personally, I feel like there's some players there that I don't know what's really going on. Yanchis was on the bench last week. Angara leapfrogged him into the starting position. I don't know what's going on there. You know what I don't know. In terms of other things, when Stee came on, when Fushia came on, they did better. Khalan came on, the attacking threat was there, but he was also knocking on the ball. You know, he did show his
In
quality
the
to put
areas.
Ruan Nel away, but besides that, he must also watch out because he'll become a Blomikis, where it's a guy with X factor, but he just keeps on making mistakes. You know,
Yeah.
Ramaklava, he came back. There was some trademark turnovers, but it wasn't enough. I feel like they're lacking quality. They need a bit of a reshuffle. It's there was I was surprised at how well they did in the initial stages, but they just let Cardiff hang around and then let themselves down.
Yeah, but also I think it's also a result maybe long tour, but hey, not because you that's the thing is that they were in that position, and they
many
let it go.
times they were in that position.
Yeah, and they let it go. So yeah, I see what you say, and this is a team that I was thinking that because of the experience of being there, being top, they're able to, galvanize, win when they're not supposed to win, because we've seen them do that before. But right now it's just, it's not happening, and perhaps you're right that some people are on the up, on out, the door. So
yeah,
but
I'm not even
I
that
think they still
Ben
will turn
Loader,
it around.
even Ben Loader, there's nothing there. I'm not seeing anything there. Angelo Davids and Zas, they're better than that. So there's certain players there where I just feel like the quality isn't necessarily the depth. Okay, I'll say the depth. The depth isn't. You guys are bringing on Alistair for Mark. You guys are bringing on varsity legends from 20 years ago, guys. Please, it's time to. If you have this youth system and these high schools that produce these Boks SA schools every year, but it's the same old men that are playing. So, and then when you give someone a chance, that guy is also useless. So, guys, please, I don't know what's going on there.
But that's what I'm saying, is that's where we need to look, is right there, because the guy that's supposed to be the next, the guys don't pick themselves at the end of the day,
Yeah.
They don't pick themselves, they don't sign themselves. So you're right. There, I have to concede. I know you're right.
Yeah, no, Mazipuko, sort it out, my man. Sort it out. Bulls versus Connacht. Willie, he's in a blue jersey now, a Bulls jersey. Looking good in that jersey, and they continue to integrate the rest of the new guys into that team. I mean, sometimes, like, I even looked at the one try. The try came from the front row winning a penalty. You've got Aka there, and then you've got Volko Low as well. And then you look at who was taking the conversion, and it's Jaco van der Walt. There's just new names everywhere in this team, and de Klerk as well was involved in the other try. So every time you look up, there's someone that they're integrating into this team that's doing something for them.
Yeah, and I think you can almost see what they're trying to do. Maybe, I think it's Jake White having that understanding of playing in dual competitions, in having that big sort of group, big roster, but I've actually guys that, they can easily start as well for different purposes, and then I think you saw it there, and especially Bulls at home. It's at Loftus, they're always going to bring the physicality, and
definitely.
And obviously with Jake White there, you can see how the direction, in terms of how they play. They clear on how
Yeah.
they want to play, and that's why they're able to have, I was surprised, I wouldn't lie, Van der Vault, because I hadn't been really checking with the Bulls, but seeing Van der Vault, I was like, okay, that's different, but you can see that bigger picture, because understanding the different tournaments.
Yeah, and it's a step up from Chris Smith. That's also something that if you're going to get someone to come in, they must be better than the guy before. And like you said, the forwards, the pattern play of the forwards was very, very well organized. Nizam Kar was heavily involved. Again, Eskom, another box showing his worth there. Willie, even when he was coming, he's doing that double pivot that they tend to do at the box as well, where he steps into the 10 role. It was good. Nokia also heavily involved. He's putting his hands up to be one of the new box in the cycle. Ulrich Lowe as well. But I still feel Ruiz has a bit of the edge there. Even Horn has a bit of the edge there than Lowe. But I mean, Lowe is the type of player I suppose they want. Is better in the tight phases.
Yeah. And I won't lie, like Willie, it just looked like he's been there for it just showed. That's why and you can just see you've got Willie there, they've got Willie there, they've got Devin Williams there, and it's almost that experience in different types of experience, but there's that experience that comes with age and playing, and you can just see that immediate impact, from there. Look, Ulrich Lowe, I think he'll always still be in the conversation, like many of the loose forwards in the country, but in a team like the Bulls, where it's just, you have to bring that physicality, always be willing to be a ball carrier, always be willing to, to be in the tight exchanges, and you get that stock standard from Eskom, Ulrich Lowe as well. They're in there, so I think Jake White is pretty sitting a bit happy in terms of what he's building, in terms of what he's building, and it'd be interesting to see that, because he's been in that environment before on the other side, and now he's bringing it here, and this is the model that basically this is the real actual sort of blueprint that we're trying to see, that I think the Sharks are trying to get to, but they're not there yet as well, so I think they're looking quietly dangerous, the Bulls.
Yeah, they are. Even I know they gave away the yellow card, but when the patience they showed in defense, it was like 24 phases before the breakaway, and they scored a try, and then it was called back. But the patience to sit in defense for 24 phases, they ruined it at the end. But it shows defensive discipline up until there was no defensive discipline, and I think that was very impressive. And it was also a bit of an unlucky call. But I mean, this is what last year he was complaining about not having players. Now he's got his players. He refreshed the coaching box there, so no excuses. And so far, so good.
Yeah, the only thing is that the long tours, which is valid in a way, because you see how the foreign teams, they jet in, jet out. Maybe 2 games out, 1 game out. So it does have an impact, but I think, the Bulls, in terms of what they're trying to build, then within these different tournaments, I think, like Jake White, if there was a guy that would be able to do something or get pretty far, I think he's the guy, and the Bulls are the team.
Yeah, we'll see next week. Bulls hosting the Sharks there. Lions, they'll get their hands on Dragons, and Stormers. Who are Stormers? Stormers are playing Zebre. They should be an easy win for them at home, and I'm sure they'll integrate some box there. But I think that's it. That's it from us. Any closing remarks, Chris?
Hey, look, Bulls Sharks. I think look, with the Bulls Sharks have got the box back. They'll be confident, but it'll be a tight one. Just let's see who you just got to back it up. That's what it is now. Back it up.
Yeah, and that's it from us. Thanks for watching.